what challenges do you expect for OEMs and Tier 1 companies in regards to cybersecurity?
I think we're in the very early days of the industry coming to grips with cybersecurity. Okay. They don't know what they don't know. And I don't say that as an insult. I think cybersecurity is incredibly dynamic, incredibly complex. Okay. And even our best and brightest in the cybersecurity world, we're still doing a pretty terrible job. So the difference is the consequences of failure are so much more severe when packets meet flesh and blood. And I think it commands our collaboration and our attention, and it's almost that we need to challenge our assumptions about what we know and figure out a common model of the true requirements and the true threat models before we can really have any significant progress.
So what technologies do you think will become prevalent?
So a lot of people are asking which technologies would become prevalent for cybersecurity in automobiles. I don't think it's a technology problem right now. We have indefensible architectures, and throwing technology at the problem typically is the least effective method. We often talk about you want built-in security, not bolt-on security. And while I'm empathetic to the fact that the existing vehicles may need some aftermarket security technologies, while we're doing better secure design and architecture for future vehicles, the return on investment for those are very low. They add costs. They may even add attack surface. So the Cavalry movement is squarely focused on making sure the cars we're designing now and over the next 5 years are more capable of being defended against the bevy of threats.
Yeah. Okay. Good to hear. So where do you see the industry going within the next 2 years?
Yeah, the crystal ball question. I think there's at least two paths. One is the industry waits for something really bad to happen before significant and substantive changes are made. That's human nature. I think that is not in their best interests. Typically when you wait for something really, really bad to happen, there's a knee-jerk emotional legislative response or fear response. Some of the people I work with in Washington are concerned that if we don't get in front of this before something bad happens, the automotive industry is a material double-digit part of the U.S. economy. It's also, I think something like, I heard something like 1 in 9 people is employed some way, shape, or form around the auto industry. So if there's a crisis of confidence in any way, shape, or form, regardless of who has the first failure, it will have a significant impact on who's on top and who survives and how people look at or trust their modern vehicles. The other path is we soberly recognize the potential for disruption and harm to the industry and to our families. And we start right now making sure we measure twice, cut once. We take willing help from willing allies in the cybersecurity world. And that's why we published our 5-star automotive cyber safety framework. These are just 5 foundational necessary capabilities that we have a ready posture towards failure. I think failure is inevitable. The question is, are we ready for those failures, and will we learn from them quickly?
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. It's very good. All right. Well, that was very short and sweet, but thank you.